everyone, Alexa Donne here, and today I'm coming at you with another writing hack. And it is, when you're plotting your work, or you're stuck, or you're trying to figure out kind of the journey to take your character on, I want you to imagine the worst case scenario. What is the worst possible thing that could happen to your character in the story, overall, or in a specific moment? You want to think about this because conflict is what moves stories. Conflict is good. And I find often as writers, we play it safe, especially when we're doing first drafts or we're developing a character or when we've gotten too close to our character. We don't want anything bad to happen to them, anything truly bad to happen to them or in the story. But often it's in exploring the worst case scenario, the worst possible thing, the thing that would cause torture and pain for our character, that we find the most interesting twists and places to take our stories. You want to inspire character growth. You want to challenge your characters, not just your main character, but all of the characters, to confront the things that scare them, that scare you in writing it. And through that, you're going to tug your reader along, torture them a little bit, and trust me, you're going to make them more engaged in the story by taking risks and not being afraid to throw a wrench in the works. So you can look at this on a macro and a micro level. On the macro level, it is, what is the worst possible thing that could happen to this character? What is their literal nightmare, or what is their secret fear, or what is the thing that would ping their Achilles heel? Of course, very often this will be death. Not just death of the character, because that can be a little bit too big or too basic. It could be death of a loved one. It could be the loss of self. So it could be something that happens that they react poorly to, that challenges their own value system. It could be being forced to choose between two impossible choices. That's the worst case scenario because there are no good answers. So typically on the macro level, this worst case scenario is going to come into play at your midpoint turns. So this is the twist at about the middle of the story that propels the plot for the second half, the third act, especially where everything is rolling downhill and going horribly. This can relate to the larger plot, or it can relate to things like the romance. What's the worst possible thing that your main character could find out about their love interest? This can create delicious conflict in a romance, especially if you do it like right after the reader thinks that everything's great, like they have their first kiss or they confess their feelings and then, I don't know, she finds out he's a criminal. It can be whatever is going to be juicy and make the story more interesting. And then on a micro level, if you're in a scene and it's feeling a little bit stale, or your character has just kind of been in the same place for a while, within a scene you can have the worst case scenario happen, and it's not as, high stakes or life or death. It could just be, I don't know, spilling red wine on a dress. Or it could be the antagonist walking into the room. Think about it on the micro level of kind of your character's kind of comfortable in the scene. What would switch things up? This ties nicely into another writing hack I posted, which is introducing an interruption in a scene. These things very often go hand in hand. So that's it, the writing hack. The worst case scenario, challenging yourself to think of what would be really, really terrible and then doing that thing. It's gonna make your writing more dynamic and interesting. It's definitely gonna make it more fun. And here's the thing, if you make a wild choice and it doesn't work out, you can always fix it later. But it'll make your writing more dynamic and interesting in the moment and move the plot along. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It lets me know that I should make more writing hack videos like this one. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I post new videos 2 to 3 times a week all about writing, craft, YA, being published, the industry, and so on. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and as always, happy writing.